When I'm not thinking on my feet and handling unexpected trick-or-treaters by just giving them all the Sweetwater candy that I've been stockpiling over the last year, I like to answer questions and comments that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. When you're done with this series, would you please put all these together as a regular long video? Like literally stitch these shorts together. I haven't figured out a way of bookmarking them or adding them to a playlist, and they're very useful. So if you've missed it, YouTube is doing this super push on shorts. So a minute or less, vertically filmed. They're supposed to hit a totally different algorithm. I don't know. My partner manager that YouTube provides me is like, okay, just do this 30 for 30 thing and see how it works. And what I ended up doing is I ended up doing 30 different chords in the key of C that you might not know. The whole thing was sponsored by Elixir Strings. Elixir also makes electric guitar strings. So definitely get some Elixirs because they're the best. They last forever. They sound better than anything, and they're super easy on your fingers. So shout out to Elixir for sponsoring this video and those videos. But the one thing that I thought was really interesting about that whole month was how much I love the sound of major 6 chords and major 6/9 chords specifically. I'd never really messed with them that much, but I wanted to take some time just to talk about them here, and then maybe if enough people are interested, I could like stitch them all together and make some kind of other video of all 30. But the funny thing about that is if you watch any of those, it's like 60 seconds of me trying to speak at warp speed to get a comprehensible idea in under 60 seconds and still kind of talk about what I'm doing. Anyways, let's talk about some of my favorite chord voicings from the month, right? So this one right here, major 6 is my favorite one of all time because it's super movable, and I'll show you why, right? So we've got the root note on the D string. So 3rd fret on the D string. I'm actually just borrowing the bottom 4 strings, which you'll find out why in a second. Here's an F. All right, so this is going to be the root note, bass note of the major 6 chord we're going to use. Your ring finger is going to make a power chord, so I've got the G string 5th fret. And again, my pointer finger is also holding down the B string, and then my pinky is grabbing that A on top. Okay, so I have the root note, the 5th, there's the major 3rd, and there's the 6th, right? So now, I really love the sound of this, and it's super easy to move because here's the 4 chord in the key of C. C, D, E, F, right? F, G. You can just move it 2 frets higher. So think of the 3rd fret being the F chord. G6. C. And I thought that was like a really cool thing that I'll always remember because it's not just about thinking of your bass notes on like the low E and A strings. There's a lot of utility, especially in a mix, or if you're playing with other players, to know maybe higher voicings of chords, right? And especially when it comes to this key, because everybody starts off in the key of C and learning maybe like the A minor pentatonic shape, right? And the nice thing about having that F6 to the G6, it really puts you in that sweet spot of the key of C, A minor, pentatonic, C major pentatonic, however you want to look at it. Right? So F6, G6, C6, right? Think of where your pointer finger is octaving down from whatever chord you're going for, right? So I know that the 8th fret on the low E string is a C, and then I just grab that. And then there we go. There's C major 6, G major 6, F major 6. Okay, now what I thought was another great 6 chord for fingerstyle was this one right here. Okay, looks kind of fancy, got a cool little stretching with your middle finger and your pinky, right? There's that power chord again, there's that root C. I've got my pinky on the 5th fret of the D string, my pointer finger is grabbing the 2nd fret, the 6 in C, which is an A, and then open B and open E. So it's like a C major 7, add 6, add 13, however you want to look at it. But I think it really sounds great if you're fingerstyle playing. And then again, you can kind of move this around, even to like a D, even though it's minor. And then F, G. So I've really enjoyed doing 1-4-5s with 6 chords, and usually 1-4-5 stuff is stuff that I usually kind of don't mess with because it sounds bland, and I'm such a hipster contrarian, right? And then the next one is this one right here, which I'm actually, I wrote a song of this, so I'll probably record it at some point this month. Maybe we'll you like behind the scenes of it. But the cool thing about this one, this is a G6/9, right? There's my root note right there, 3rd fret on the low E string. And I'm getting a regular G major chord where it's the 3rd fret on the low E string and the high E string, and the 3rd fret on the B string. Now my pointer finger is getting the D and G string 2nd fret, right? So there's G, there's the 6, and then there is the 9, which is an A, right? Now the really interesting thing about this is, aside from being movable, right? I can make this a C just by sliding this all the way to that C, 8th fret. Right? You can do stuff just like that. And then maybe but the coolest thing about this is if you just move your bass note down a string, now we've got C 6/9, right? Because there's root note, major 3rd, there's that A, and then a D, which would be the add 9, so 6, add 9. Right? So the nice thing about this is going to be the 5 chord in the key of C and the 1 chord. Now if I move it down in root position C, there's the 1 chord, and then down a string, then there's the 4 chord. So we've got 5 chord, 1 chord, 1 chord, 4 chord. We can even keep going, 4 chord, and then you can kind of go through like a circle of fourths type deal just to get all the chords. But yeah, basically with the C and the G, and then the C and the F, you can kind of just keep them in the same spot. And then I just thought those were like really, really pretty chords. And again, I'll link you to the playlist that those are in, just because there's so much. Even though in the grand scheme of things, it's only like 30 minutes of content, and right now we're already like approaching, like 6-7 minutes or whatever. I learned a lot just by doing a lot of those chords, right? So, it also really kind of sparked a lot of creativity and had me write some new songs, which is something that I've kind of been slacking on. But again, if you're in a rut, learn some new chord voicings, because man, they just open up a whole new world, a whole new way of thinking. Because again, I've been sleeping on these 6 chords for whatever reason. So thank you to Elixir Strings. Get some for your electric guitar and get some of that inspiration flowing. Well, you shouldn't be a beginner playing solos for starters. A lot of bad advice out there. Salty Blues comment, of course, beginners shouldn't play solos. Like, how else are you supposed to... How are you supposed to get better? Like... That's great. Don't try playing a solo. Don't try playing anything cool until you're, like, really advanced. I see some comments like that, too. Like, somebody else says something like, the first 6 months that you play guitar, you should just do scales. Only scales, right? Just suck all the joy out of the instrument right off the bat for yourself if you're serious. If you're serious about being a guitar player, just make it not fun as soon as possible. Yeah. That's just dumb. Like, every now and then I'll read a comment and I'll just start laughing. Like, yeah, beginners shouldn't play guitar solos. It's just like, I feel like you guys get it, right? You're the Matthew McConaughey of guitar tutorials, man. Oh my gosh. I woke up to this the other day and just started blushing. The ultimate compliment. I don't know if you guys do audiobooks at all, but I listened to the McConaughey autobiography, Green Lights, and he reads it. Man, I gotta say, again, this video is sponsored by Elixir, not Audible. But once you get your Elixir strings, definitely go check out the McConaughey biography because it's fantastic. And this is probably the best compliment that I've gotten, aside from somebody else calling me Dollar Store Ryan Reynolds, which I am so cool with. But thank you very much. Elliott Smith played a Yamaha, WTF. So this is on the video I posted where I visited the Martin Museum, and they had Elliott Smith's guitar, which is actually also owned by Kurt Cobain. Super cool experience. And then we played Say Yes on it, and it was the most nervous I've ever been to hold a guitar. And it's funny, is like I'm a huge Elliott Smith fan. I've got a ton of Elliott Smith related content on that out here. He's like, probably one of the main reasons that I play guitar and I do this for a living. And it's so funny the amount of the community that's like, Elliott Smith played a Yamaha. Like, Yeah, okay. You know you can have two guitars, right? It's another thing that just blows my mind. The amount of like pushback I got on this, and it was Elliott Smith's guitar, which like it definitely was. Like there's pictures and stuff of him using it, and like going on tour with it. But Elliott Smith played a red label Yamaha, and it's like, yeah, okay. You can play two guitars. So, I think a lot of people watching this may have owned several guitars, but not Elliott Smith. Yamaha red label only, and I will not hear an argument. It's been a long-standing tradition for listening homework to be every time King Gizard and the Lizard Wizard comes out with a new release, so basically every other week. But check out the new stuff because it's really cool. I'm just a huge fan. It's incredible the amount of stuff that they put out, and it's all super good. So shout out to the goats of just always posting new music. Also inspiring. So yeah, new chords and new music. Just listen to some stuff and get inspired. Get some Elixir strings. Play some 6 chords. And that is the best I can do for you this week. So let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.